Jeremy, thanks for being here doing this. And
Yeah.
just to contextualize it for people, and I think I was just sharing this. So we do, as a lot of our customers know, we do a partner series once a month that is, invites customers live and does a lot of, a few other things. But every now and then throughout the year, I'd say 2, 3, 4 times a year, we'll encounter something that we really like, that we think is cool, and that we want our customers to know about. And we've just found that this medium is just the best way to get people straight to the horse's mouth, so to speak, rather than hearing
Yep.
us repackage it. We just like for them to know the partners, know the people with the partners like yourself, and hear the information directly from you, and then we can kind of take it from there. So like I said, I thank you for being here, first of all.
Awesome. No, happy to do this, and happy to get to know each of you better, work closely with you, and really help your end clients, right? Help your customers do some cool stuff.
And actually, so we had done this presentation I think it was just the two of us.
Yeah.
And so we're going to kind of redo it here and record it, memorialize it for folks. And Brett, the way that we got to Denik, actually, I think is through a conversation I had with Justin at IMB. So that's kind of nice. Cool. And Jeremy, I can explain that a little bit. I think maybe I did, or I don't know if I did or not, but I can explain a little bit of that once we get off the call. But so just really quick, because as I mentioned, we like to get to know the people that we work with. Tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe like just really quick about how long you've been with Denik and where you were before and where you live and just family and just a couple of things there. And then we'll get going on a presentation.
Yeah, for sure. So Jeremy Wynn is my name. I'll start with my family. So my wife's name's Laura. We've got 3 kids. Our oldest is Boston, and he's 8 years old. And I've got 2 daughters. Lila is 4, although she'll tell you she's 5 because her birthday's in about a month. And Annie, our youngest, is 18 months. So we've got the 3 crazy kids running around the house, keeping us very busy.
How old's your oldest, did you say?
8 years old.
8 years old, got it.
Yeah, so we still got a long haul, right? Get them going.
You're early, yeah.
So it's fun though. And then, so I've actually been with Denik, and I'll give you a little more story to this, but really I've been with Denik just about 5 months is all. I'm actually new in the promotional world, but I've been very close to the company for a lot of years. So I've known this company, this brand. My friend Tyler Tolson, he's the CEO and the founder. We've been longtime friends. So it was inevitable at some point that I'd be here working with them. We kind of knew it, and the timing was finally right. So prior to Denik, I've actually spent my whole career in philanthropy and fundraising. So I've done fundraising. I live here in Logan, Utah, northern Utah. So Utah State University is right here in our backyard.
Gotcha.
And so I started in athletics, and I did fundraising for athletics for about 7 or 8 years. And then I moved into healthcare philanthropy and did fundraising for healthcare for a couple years as well prior to this. So I have a long-standing history in development fundraising work, and so that was part of the allure of coming to Denik. As I share kind of our mission, you'll understand that a little bit, why this was a perfect kind of fit and draw for me.
Yeah, awesome. That's interesting to find out. I find every time I do this, and you learn a little bit about people's background, and people find their way into our industry in so many interesting ways.
Oh yeah.
Brett was in insurance before he got here. Alex, who is his videos turned off, but Alex's background is in the auto industry.
Okay.
And so it's just, I say a lot. I don't know, Jeremy, if you'd agree with this in your short time in the industry, or whether Brett and Alex would, but like, I don't think our industry is weird or odd a little bit in that I don't think people endeavor to be in our industry for the most part. They tend to find their way into our industry. And it's a great business. It has its challenges, just like anything else. There's great things about it. There's tough things about it, but I don't recall any time in my life running into somebody and saying, what are you going to do when you grow up? And they're like, well, I'm going to be in the promotional products business. Like, I don't, ever remember that. So
that's all. Yeah, it's not one of the go-to answers, on those aptitude tests, right? So.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Not what I expected, but
let's just turn it over to you, man. So yeah, just start telling us about the background I'll give to people who watch this is that obviously, there's a lot of notebooks in our industry. There's a lot of suppliers that have them. We've worked recently with a couple of others on some, but I think that I liked the Denik brand when I encountered it. I noticed, and I think I shared this with you, Jeremy, that we are big on trying to find really go-to partners in product categories or specific products. And so we haven't worked together a lot. We'll see, we'll see where things go in the future, but I like the Denik brand. I like the story, the product. I have, as I mentioned to you, I've got samples here, and I know you've got samples there. The product is quality. And I really like kind of the spin in the story, and I won't steal that from you. I'll turn it over. So the company story is really cool, and I'll let you take it away. And I'll probably, just so you know, I'm going to mute myself just so I don't cause any sound issues over you, and then I'll unmute to ask you questions, but I'll let you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, feel free though to chime in at any point, because as you know, I try to get through things fairly quickly for people because I know time is valuable. So, but if I'm leaving anything out or not clear, just feel free to stop and ask. So, Landon, the story of Denik and the mission of Denik, and really what drew me to wanting to come work here. So 10 years ago, we're actually here in November, in about a week is the actual 10-year anniversary of Denik of when it launched. So we're actually gearing up to celebrate internally and have a big party and a lot of fun with some announcements to come as well of some cool stuff. So 10 years ago, Tyler, I mentioned his name earlier, Tyler Tolson, he's our founder and CEO, still is a CEO, awesome guy. So we met in college. He was actually the student body president at Utah State, and I was one of his vice presidents over athletics. And that's where we became really, really good friends. And I remember him actually launching the company during that time. He started Denik. Tyler's an artist at heart, and he wanted to find a way to use his art, not only to start a business, but to do some good around the world. And growing up as an artist, as you can imagine, all artists, you get told by many people, like, you can't just do art for a living. That's such a tough haul and a long road, but he was determined to do it. So he had somebody tell him that his art would look really cool on a notebook. And that's what sparked the entire idea, was just a comment from a friend. And so he decided he was going to start designing notebook covers and selling that. So actually this right here, this notebook cover right here, this wall is a bunch of different covers through the years that he likes. This was the original. We call it the OG notebook cover. And so that's the one that started it all. And so he actually would actually buy Mead brand notebooks in bulk quantity at the local Walmart or Kmart and tear the covers off. And then he had a machine to cut the binding, had a machine to rewire. That's literally how he started this business. I mean, really cool story, but he drove around the country and sold notebooks out of the back of his car at shows all over the country, little farmers markets. He would find little industry shows, art shows, and started selling books. And about 2 years into that, he had some investors approach him and say, "Hey, your product's kind of cool. We need to modernize this a little bit, and we need to set up some processes." And they had some experience in retail and said, "We want to put your products, through our retail side." And so he decided to partner with them, and he really hit it hard on the retail side. And 10 years later, we have a thriving retail business. So we're in over 16,000 retail locations across North America. And just this year, we're now selling in Europe and in Australia now. So we're growing internationally on the retail side. You can find our books in Target, Walmart, Staples, Michaels, Kohl's, all the big players, all the way down to small boutique shops around the country. So retail is what really started. I'm curious,
just a quick question on retail. Are those branded Denik in those locations, or are they sort of white labeled, or are they?
Yeah, they'll be branded Denik. So you'll see them Denik branded in those locations. And that's, and so our retail side, when Tyler started the business, he wanted to change the world with art. And so initially he had two goals. He wanted to support artists, and he wanted to help fund education projects around the world and build schools around the world. He had volunteered with some organizations, one called Mali Rising out of Africa, that would build schools. He'd done some volunteer work, and he decided, I want to fund an entire school with them. That was one of his goals. So 10 years in, big retail brand, and that really supports the artists. So we work with artists around the world. They submit designs to us. We take those designs, pitch them to our retail clients, and the retail clients will submit art or pick the artwork they like, and then we share the revenues with artists. So we support artists through our retail side. The custom side's really been focused on the schools. And so 10 years in, we've had the opportunity to build 5 schools around the world. 2 in Mali, Africa, 1 in Ghana, 1 in Laos, and 1 in Guatemala. And here in the next few weeks, we have actually just fully funded school number 6. So we'll be breaking ground in Nicaragua here in the next couple of weeks, with a goal to have that completed probably around the first part of the year. So Tyler's been able to see his mission come to fruition. And that mission, really, my background, philanthropy, and the opportunity to come and do some good while making some cool notebooks is what really got me here. And then beyond the schools, we fund educational projects here locally. So, 2020, the COVID year, we had planned to try and fund another school, but we decided to push our efforts locally throughout the U.S. So we donated a lot of dollars and supplies, books to schools here in the U.S. last year. So really cool mission, lots of good that's happening. And that's the power of promo, right? I mean, that's the fun thing with our partners. We've been able to do a lot of cool stuff, and we plan to do a lot of really great stuff going forward. So that's a quick background, I guess, on the mission.
The name Denik, is that his last name, or what is the name Denik?
Yeah, so Tyler, he grew up in Maryland. He was a big hockey fan, and some of his favorite hockey players were Czechoslovakian. And so Denik is actually a Czech word for notebook or journal. That's where the name comes from.
All right, very cool. All right, cool.
It's interesting. I appreciate that you shared your story at the beginning, because that helped to contextualize. Because I was wondering, how do you end up in this interview? Yeah, I get that you're his friend, but then, sort of that philanthropic thread there, creates that tie-in. So, again,
absolutely,
that stuff pretty interesting, and it's kind of cool how you're able to still scratch that itch, so to speak, from a philanthropic standpoint, but be in a growing sort of entrepreneurial business.
That's exactly right. Yep. So yeah, that's kind of how I got here, and that's why I'm here, and then, you'll see as we get into products, kind of our brand, we consider ourselves a fun brand, right? And we'll show that off in the products a little bit. So if you're ready, we can jump into that side too. Okay. All right. So
let's do it. Sorry, I was like searching for my unmute button.
Yeah, you're good.
Please, let's do it.
Okay. So we pride ourselves on a couple things with Denik. We believe in full customization. And we believe in full color. Again, it's a team of artists here, not me specifically. I'm certainly not an artist, but we have a team of artists. And so all of our books standard come full color, full printed on the covers, both the outside and on the inside covers. So that's one of our standards, that we hold true to, because we believe in showing off the full artwork, right? We want a company's brand to shine. Rather than just stamp a logo in 1 or 2 locations, you can choose here or here, and you can choose this size. We want to use your branding to its full power. And so that's one of our key cores that we'll always stick to. So this book right here, I'm going to dive into our soft covers to start. This is our classic soft cover. It's 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. This is our most popular book. We sell, honestly, in our promotional space, it's about 80% of our business is this book right here.
So really quick question, and I think you told me this before, but I can't remember. Do you charge setups or no?
No setups.
Got it. So the standard item comes full color outside and inside on the cover. Am I understanding that right?
That's correct. That's standard.
Got it.
And then as far as pages, blank, dot, grid, and line, just kind of the standard inside pages that are included in all that standard pricing. And we'll get into some of the add-ons here in a minute, but yeah, again, so this classic soft cover, our best seller in the promotional goods space. So 5 1/4 by 8 1/4, as I mentioned, and then we kind of have 3 standard sizes across most of our products.
Really quick, I don't want to preempt you, but are you going to show the spine thing?
Oh, yes, yeah, I will get to that.
That's one of my favorite things about them. Yeah.
Yeah, so we call it a lay flat, and so some people listen to this may understand binding a little bit better. But we do what's called a Smithsone binding. So I'm going to hold that up to the camera.
Oh, wow.
Right there. So we actually sew the pages in signatures, and then we actually glue it, not right on the spine, but just off the spine. and that allows a book. So if I just sit here and hold this without force, it sits open.
That's
So
huge.
you'll notice, you know,
I
most
love
journals and books come perfect bound, and that's where they glue it to the spine.
Mhm.
And so that, you know, you got to kind of sit and press that thing down and break the spine a little.
Yeah.
This just sits open. And so that's another big key feature to
Wow.
Denik books that you'll see, you know, with our standard inside pages and our standard binding.
And is that just like a soft touch feel on the?
Yeah. So it has a
on the
soft
cover?
touch laminate. People tell me it feels like butter. That's kind of
Okay.
the most common, you know, thing people say when they hold it. They say, "Wow, I love the feel of that. It's butter. You know, that feels
Yeah.
good in my hand." So, yeah. So 5 1/4, 8 1/4 on that. 7 by 9. Again, you know, full color there, and then 8 1/2 by 11. So those are our 3 standard sizes. There again, full color on all that. So that's our soft covers. Again, our best sellers there. And then if you're looking for, you know, kind of some premium items, you know, executive level gifts, you know, really big high end, you know, client gifts, people love to turn to our hardcovers. So this is our
Jeremy,
hardcover book.
Jeremy, one quick question, just so that I can
Yeah.
contest. So I got these samples you gave me.
Yeah.
Are these are all the soft cover, right? Is that
Yeah, those are soft covers. Yep.
now this one with like this metallic finish? Is that like a special deal?
That's one of the add-ons, and I'll show a few other
Okay, all right.
add-ons. But yes, that's
But
called a foil.
these would be consistent with what you just showed us, correct?
Absolutely. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, good question. So hardcover, again, we have the same 3 sizes. Most people choose this classic size. Again, it's just such a great, perfect size. The hardcovers, again, full color printing on the covers. They have that exact same binding. So, you know, you can show that off again. We don't glue it to the spine. One difference on the hardcovers, just because the way things are printed in the business. So the inside covers, this is the only book where the inside covers aren't standard on the printing, but we can do it. It adds like $1 to the book roughly, you know, to print that on the inside covers. Most
But
people,
you're getting
you know,
full
choose-
color graphics on the outside, it appears,
Yeah,
right?
full color graphics on the outside still.
And that would just be like a single color pad print on the inside, or is that, how does that work?
You can do full color again. So yeah, what we basically do is we print one more sheet and just glue it on here essentially.
Okay.
So you can still do your full color branding on the inside covers, and
How does
both
that
covers
thing
are
lay?
included in the $1.
Does it lay similar or flat kind of, or is it not?
Yep. Yeah, it'll also lay flat just like the other.
That's huge.
Gotcha.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, again, so again, we believe, you know, we believe these are premium quality journals and books. That's our niche.
We got
so again,
we got a late joiner here, Jeremy.
Can't wait.
My dad's joining, so
Excellent.
welcome.
Add a little bit of wisdom to the room.
Uh-oh,
Cool.
I got fuzzy.
All right, so yeah, same 3 sizes in the hardcover. Again, most people go with the classic. As you get into the medium size, the 7 by 9, 8 by 11, we actually price those out by project, just because it gets so pricing with the hardcovers can fluctuate. You know, that's a product that can change. So we kind of hold off on the large sizes, so we can quote those out by project. And then I want to dive into our YROs. So this is a 7 by 9. We call this our medium YRO. This is our most popular item in the YRO. It does come in the same classic size, 5 1/4 by 8 1/4, and then also comes in the 8 1/2 by 11. I won't show all 3 since you kind of understand the sizes, but again, full color printing, front, back cover, and inside covers on these is standard. We also do, so these are soft cover, has that same soft touch laminate, but we also add what's called a chip board to the back. So this is a really, really firm and hard board that just gives it that extra durability to kind of help it, you know, gives it the durability of the hardcover, but the soft feel of the soft cover. So again, this YRO medium, really, really popular. You know, again, same standard inside pages, blank dot grid, lines, and then
just to reiterate, on all these journals, there's no setup charges.
No setup on any of them. Yeah.
And the
Good question.
minimum quantity is is it 50?
50 units is the minimum.
Gotcha.
If you really stretch my arm and you got a special project that needs less, we can always chat.
We can work on it. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, that's how it goes, right? So that's our YRL collection. Again, I won't show you all 3 sizes, but really popular there. And then we
Really
get into
quick,
our
Jeremy, I'll probably have you send a sample set up to my dad there. He's in Ohio, and it'd be good for him to see the product also. So Dad, we'll need to get him an address so that he can send you a sample kit.
Awesome.
All right.
So we'll get to our skinny collection now, as we call it. So we have 2 sizes in our skinny collection. We call them skinny because they're skinnier books, and they have a saddle stitch binding. So that's a really common binding with the staple, right? Called the saddle stitch. So this is the 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. We call this the classic. And then what's really popular in this size is the pocket books. These are 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. Pocket books, some people call them a field book. But these are really, really popular, especially if you're, trade show giveaways, pocket books and our classic lay flat. These are the 2 items people really like to order. If you're going to a big trade show and you want to get a book that's priced really nice and can carry your branding, inside covers, again, standard, all that, full color print.
So that thing would be full color. I mean, in that case, kind of like we've done on some of our books, it just shows the black imprint on the craft, but it can be full color on that little book.
It can be full color. Yeah. In fact, here, I've got one.
And so Dad, really quick, while Jeremy's pulling out, I was thinking that might be kind of an interesting thing to look at. I don't know how that would price compare to what you've done for Miva, but it would be interesting to consider that depending on where the pricing is. Go ahead.
Yeah. So here's I was going to show these off on some of our additional add-ons, but here's a set we did for Siemens. This is a 3-pack book, but you can see there's some full color on them. They kind of did 3 different looks all packaged together in a belly band. So that's a little bit of a preview. So I'll talk belly bands in a second. But yeah, full color printing on those. So that's our skinny books. And then let's talk about some of those additional add-ons and features. So you showed off that what we call the iridescent foil on that one book. I've got another example here. So this is, again, if you want to make part of your logo or you've got a message that you just want to pop and stand out, there's a couple cool ways to do it. This is iridescent foil, one of the more popular use cases. This is a gold foil. Again, just a great look on the black, especially. It looks really cool. We can do almost any color foil. Gold, silver, and iridescent are probably the most common ones. And then we do a spot UV treatment. This is a clear coat print. And this, when you do kind of a, color on color print like this, so this is black on black.
That looks nice.
You put the clear coat on it. Again, just makes something pop. And it has a raised feel, this UV. It's a raised feel that's kind of mimics like a deboss or an embossed book. And then as we get into the holiday season and gifting season, a couple other things I wanted to point out.
Jeremy, that would really quick on those add-ons you just showed, like for the foil and the spot UV and the iridescent. Those would be, again, no setup charges, just an additional sort of run charge per book. Are they all the same? Do they vary depending on whether you choose foil, UV, or iridescent?
Yeah, you're about $1.25 add-on.
Okay.
Either no matter which one you choose. And that's kind of at the, even the low quantities. And then as you get into higher quantities, that pricing comes down obviously, but you're about $1.25 to add that. So as we get into holiday season, wanted to point out a couple other things. So I mentioned our standard pages of line, blank, and dot grid. One of the things we pride ourselves on is, we can customize, the full book. So this was a book we did for Turner Classic Movies. They wanted like a movie journal, for lack of better words. And so they customized the entire book. It's probably hard to really see here, but where you can keep notes on the movie you're watching, give your thoughts and stuff, and keep kind of a movie journal. So we can fully customize the inside pages. And I didn't even mention this earlier, but our turn times, our production times right now, we are US produced and we ship here out of Utah. So our turn times are about 7 to 10 business days production. And our goal is to keep that through the entire holiday season. So we're ramping up staff and production time like crazy right now as we get busy, but we can turn things quick.
Just like half of the pages, one thing, and then half the pages, another thing. Is that a possibility as well?
Yeah. So this one, they just did the same thing throughout, but yeah, we have lots of requests for, people want to customize every 10th page, right? They want line pages, and then on every 10th page, they want a full color page with quotes and photos, right? We can fully customize every single page different or uniform through the whole book. And so obviously there's some additional costs. If you keep the printing black and white, it really doesn't add too much to a book. When you get into color, we price that out by project because, color printing, depending on how many pages you want color, that pricing can vary, quite a bit, just depending on how much you're doing. So, but that's one thing is you're looking to customize stuff, make a really special book for some clients. That's a really good option. And then we do variable data printing. So this was a book we did for a healthcare company. They wanted to personalize each book with a name. So we can do variable data printing. And again, the cost to do something like that, again, no additional really setup. It's not the setup, it's just the additional time it takes to do that. It's not that much per book, depending on quantity. You're probably anywhere from 25 cents to $1, just depending on quantity, right? But you can customize and personalize every single book. And then tapping a little bit.
I mean, just to illustrate that for people, variable data would be like if they had an event and they're giving away 100 notebooks and the art's the same, but they want their names in the bottom right corner of the cover. That's
exactly right.
Personalized. That's the kind of thing that you can do. And
that's exactly right. Yep. So again, a great thing for employee gifts. We get that a lot when people are doing employee year-end gifts right now. That's a common question and theme we're getting. And then a little bit of kind of additional packaging, decoration stuff. So tapping a little bit into our, retail side that we steal from to make our promo side even better. But again, I showed you the belly bands earlier. As you're doing, little gift sets, we can do belly bands on any size of books and journals. In fact, the sample kit Landon I sent, I think had a big belly band that wrapped the entire thing, right? Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's just an example that has a belly band wrapping the entire sample kit. So we can do these in any size, color, in full color customization on the belly bands. And then I wanted to show off.
Again, just kind of an add-on cost for that, depending on.
Yeah, you're about you're $1 to $2.50 against all quantity, right? It's everything. So yeah, it's not too bad. And then insert cards. This is another way to personalize a gift. So some people want to, create additional messaging, and we can create insert cards, put them right inside the inside cover of a book. You show that on the camera, right? And package it like that. So when the book goes out, it's sitting in there. Just some additional messaging that you can do. And then one of the popular things that we did, so we created a custom box for our classic lay flat. This is sized for our classic lay flat. Again, additional opportunities to do some messaging and printing. These are full color on the outside. And then let's see if I can do this on camera. But as they open it up, the book will sit in there, but full color on the inside as well. And you can also do the same decoration stuff with the foil. Additional messaging opportunities, additional ways just to create an experience for somebody. To help them find their favorite new notebook, right? Here's just a cool way people were asking for. So we've got these boxes. You're probably looking between $3 to $6 roughly. Again, all about quantity. If you get over 250 units, we can get the pricing on those boxes down, fairly inexpensive. And then I did want to show off one other thing. This is a new thing we're pushing on the promotional side. It's not even on our catalog yet. You saw the craft paper earlier on our pocketbook. So craft paper is all of our products across the board were 75% made from 75% recycled material. This craft book is 100% recycled paper. Again, we can do full color printing on these, but the craft paper is on the inside as well. So this is when you're looking for like the ultra eco-friendly option, craft paper is really, really popular right now.
So I got to ask, because I keep looking at that thing, I'm distracted by it. Is that just a full color print, or does that thing have like a raised? It doesn't, because it kind of looks like it's almost got like a 3-dimensional, but that's just print, right?
It's just a print. Yeah, this is actually one of our artist designs. So yeah, this is just a print. But craft paper is really, really popular right now. again, and the cost on craft is the same as our other books. They're 6s. So
And you get that blank lined or dot grid as well, or
blank line or dot grid. Yeah, same thing here. Even again, we can even customize, but yeah, this has the same here. I'll show you same lay flat binding there. So this has moved. Craft on our retail side has exploded over the last year, and so we decided to bring it to the promo side because we get asked all the time about eco-friendly options, and so this is a really, really cool one. That's a quick overview. I think I hit just about everything I wanted. So hopefully that answered most questions.
Yeah, it does, man. I just sent you an email actually, and part of it I've been looking off screen a little bit because I was kind of pulling up website, and I know you mentioned that your website right now is primarily retail focused. So if people watch this and they look up Denik notebooks, it's going to more or less pull up the retail site. But it sounds like you're working on some assets for specifically for our industry, and I know I would like to look at us doing a self promo book. And something that we would get in that one you just showed, which is the all brown craft, probably in a 50 piece. And frankly, if people watch this or would want a sample, because we normally do it with our live partner series, we offer a gift for people who take the time to join or watch, and we would be willing to send something like that out to people as soon as we get them in. So I'll work with you on that offline. One question I had is, I'm curious, what if somebody wanted to pull some of the art or designs from the retail side and just incorporate their logo or something? Is that possible?
Yes, it is. So I would say probably on 95% of the stuff you see on our website, it's all up to the artists because they own the artwork. We partner with them to sell it and share the revenue. But most of our artists are absolutely happy to allow us to take their design and stamp a company's logo on it and send that out. So I would say in almost every case, yes.
Do those carry a premium because of the fact that in that case you'd be profit sharing with the artist a little bit over what? No. Okay.
No, we keep pricing the same. For our side, we take less of a cut.
So the way that would work is somebody could pull up Denik, they could look at the art, and they could find something. They say, I love this piece of art. I would like to do this. Or for that matter, they may know the artist. I guess there's a chance of that. But they would look for a piece of artwork they like and say, I'd like to do this with our logo incorporated into it. And you would say, that's fine. We just need to clear it with the artist. Is essentially
that's exactly
right. Okay, got it.
And again, most of them are really good about that. We do get that request sometimes. And I do want to mention, because it's that time of year, we're getting a lot of requests for custom 2022 planners. And so we already have designed, because we do a lot of planners on the retail side. So we have custom inside pages, planner pages already designed and put together. And so we're getting requests to use those already pre-designed planner pages and put branding and a company's branding on and wrap the enther covers.
Would that still price out as custom filler essentially?
It would price out as custom filler, but again, it's all black and white printing. I don't have
that's fine.
I don't have the cost right off the top of my head, but it is an option, and so we're getting a lot of requests for that right now. So I wanted to mention that as a option.
I don't want to put you on the spot here but I do want to, I know we've talked about, we're going to send a sample kit to Brett because he's in North Carolina to Dad in Ohio. We've got one here in the office, which I appreciate you sending. I assume that not necessarily, we don't want to send hundreds of these things out, but we have these sample kits. And if we had good opportunities, if clients wanted to see a sample kit, we could probably get those out to them if it's a good opportunity. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So sample kits, or, the other thing we do is, even one-off, in the industry we call them blank samples, but if somebody wants to see just a classic lay flat book, right?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, I want to hold that in my hands, before I make a decision. Let me know. No cost. We send blank samples out, no cost.
Let me ask this. How do you handle, or do you even, because I know printing, this can get a little hairy. Do you offer spec samples or pre-production samples? If let's say somebody comes to you in order for, 1,000 books, 5,000 books or something, and they're like, I really want to see one before I run them all. Can we do that?
Yeah. Most of the books, I think other than the hardcover, they're like $10 for a pre-production spec sample. We'll run the full thing
we can do it. It's not terribly expensive. Good.
Yeah.
Well, good, man. Like I said, I really like the story. I know, Dad, you didn't get to hear a little bit about the story, but we'll get this, out to you, and you'll be able to watch the beginning of it or whatever. But does anybody, Brett, do you have anything else, or Alex or Dad, you guys got any questions you want to ask Jeremy?
I think the only other question I have is just, obviously you can get crazy with customization, all that kind of stuff. But for standard lead time on like a custom, just a lay flat book with a full color front and back, what's that looking like for you guys?
Yeah, we're running, I think 7 to 10 business days production.
Oh, wow.
We're closer to 7 right now. We've actually been 5 to 7 recently. I hate saying that we're going to stick to that because as we get busier, but we're trying to stay under 10 days production right now.
And everything ships out of Utah, so that's going to be probably anywhere from 2 to 5 days, depending on where we're going, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, and even on, so like, you know, we get requests, you know, anywhere from, again, 50 is our minimum, you know, but we run projects for 25, 50,000 books, and we're turning around 25,000 books in 3 weeks right now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. And that's custom, even with some custom inside pages. So when I say we've ramped up production, because we're getting busier and busier, but that's our goal in this holiday season. It's hard to get stuff right now, as you know. And so our goal, you know, for not only you know, Landon and team, but for your clients that are listening, our goal is to get you stuff quick and get you really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just taking a look at some of these notebooks on the Denik website, man, there's some really cool stuff out there as far as the artwork that's on these things. And if you can utilize that for certain projects, or if the artist is cool with that, I mean, I think that's a really, really, really cool thing.
Yeah.
To do.
And,
I
don't have pricing on this yet, but one other thing, because we're getting a lot more requests for what you're talking about, we have some clients talking to their reps saying, hey, I love this artist piece on Denik's website. Can we put our logo on it? So the other thing we're starting to do is, like you see on the wall here, just these are art prints basically. So we've actually had a few requests that somebody just wants an art print and put their logo on it, you know, something that they can send out that's an art print, and maybe they don't even put the logo on it. It's just a gift, right, to a client. But we're getting some requests for that too. So we can offer that. Again, I don't even have pricing on it right now, but we could get that if that was ever, you know, something that you wanted.
Well, so the one thing I would say is just to give people specifics, and Jeremy, first, I don't want to forget to thank you for doing this. I love the story. I think the product's great. I mean, I think it aligns really well with what we're trying to do as a company, and it's something that we want to get in front of our customers. And I love the idea of not only, I think, creating artwork, which I think some of our clients would be really excited to do, or even, you know, I think about some of our clients that serve certain markets or children or whatever that might even be able to have artwork created and then sort of memorialize it on a notebook and then incorporate their logo and branding. But if you go to Denik.com, and I have that right, Jeremy, Denik.com.
Yep.
And it looks like artist collections is what they would want to click.
Yep.
If they want to see. And like, for example, I just picked one because I kind of like the look of it. I believe, and I hope I'm going to say her name right, Novia Fanatin, I think maybe, or something, or Jonathan, Novia Jonathan, it looks like, I think. You can correct me if I got that wrong, but she's got some really cool like typefaces. Like she's got one that says, what would life be if we had not attempt anything, or something like that. And then she's got like maker's gonna make, which I thought was actually kind of cool. And so there's some really cool ones out here that, you know, we could potentially pursue, and you know, they kind of done the heavy lifting, and you could incorporate some branding if there's a message or a piece of art that seems to be consistent with your brand.
Yep, absolutely.
So, very cool. All right. Well, I appreciate the time, and we're excited to get this out. And yeah, man, I appreciate you being here, and we'll be in touch hopefully with some sample requests and also some orders real soon.
Absolutely. No, this was a lot of fun. I'm happy to do it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Anybody else got anything? Brett, you good?
All good, man.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you soon, Jeremy. Thanks again.
All right. Thanks.